Now that 2 games for every series has happened in the NBA second round, I want to talk about each series and let's see where we stand. Starting out with the Pistons Cavaliers, this is a weird series because I feel like if you asked anybody coming into this series, do you got the Cavs or the Pistons? I think most people would have said the Cavaliers simply because even though they went to game 7 against the Raptors, they didn't look too bad, to be honest. It was just one of those things where I think circumstantially it was like a 1 out of 99 run that the Raptors kind of made 7, at least the way a lot of people saw it. And the Pistons, I mean, they look bad. Like, granted, they come back down 3-1, but aside from Cade, it was rough. The 8th seed almost beat them. I think at the very least, it was an even series going in, and it does not look like it. The Pistons are making quick work out of the Cavs, and the box scores haven't been too bad. I mean, it was a 10-point game, this most recent one, and before that was another 10-point game. So granted, 10 points isn't close, but it's not the most outlandish series so far. There's been bigger blowouts in the other series, but it just feels like the Pistons are just making quick work defensively. I mean, Donovan Mitchell had one good game, one mediocre game. Harden had one okay game and one bad game. And it just feels like they can't get their things off. And on the Pistons, this seems like the regular season Pistons besides Duren. But that's a whole nother thing. Cade Cunningham, he's come out to play. He struggled early in last series. This series, he's just taking it to him. Harden, Mitchell, it don't matter. Cade's getting his. He's playmaking. He's scoring. The shooters, Tobias Harris has come clutch just like he did at the end of the first round. And Jalen Duren, I don't know what happened to you, truly. You were kind of one of the main guys who were the embodiment of this modernized bad boy Pistons kind of team, guy, physical, aggressive dog. And you just look like you've been put down in the pound, buddy. I mean, I don't know what's happened. I like Jalen Duren. I was really high on them. You can go check some of my videos. But I don't know what happened to Duren. He's been really struggling. And so hopefully for the future, especially in that conference finals, if the Pistons keep and take care of business, hopefully he can figure it out there. Because if he is going up against, who we'll talk about next, the Knicks, Karl-Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson, they're going to make quick work of you, especially Cat. You better lock in, Duren. On the Cavaliers side, Donovan Mitchell, listen, historically, you've been a playoff riser. We give you credit for that. But what's happened? The last couple years in Cleveland, you've been favored in a lot of series you've lost. And I don't want to say that the jury's out on you, that you're no longer that playoff riser, but you got to prove something. And I think if you lose the series here, I mean, you traded a 25-year-old point guard, future kind of guy for James Harden. He's a couple years out and maybe he'll just retire. This is bad for the Cavaliers if they don't figure something out. Moving on to the Knicks-Sixers series, I mean, I hate to be that guy, but I wish we had the Celtics here because the Sixers, especially without Joel Embiid, they just don't really stand a chance. Granted, this most recent game, they only lost by 6, but it's one of those things where I think that's the best you're going to get from the Sixers. I mean, really, they might steal a game again, but I think the Knicks are just going to make quick work of them, especially with Joel Embiid, in and out of the lineup as we know he does. Can't stay healthy, unfortunately. I really do hope that the 76ers can figure out a way to make this interesting, but I don't see it. The Knicks look like they're full throttle. Cat, Big Purr, keep doing your thing. Jalen Brunson's coming to play. OG and Mikal have had their games throughout the series, especially once they woke up after those first few bad Hawks games. So I think this series is probably going to be the least interesting of them all. The only 1-1 series of the 4 is the Spurs Timberwolves, but I think that's misleading. I think that first game was one of those games where it's like, congratulations, Minnesota, you won one. Now sit down and get spanked. The Spurs absolutely obliterated them, which is funny because the first half wasn't that bad. But the second half, the Spurs just said, oh yeah, we play second seed basketball. We won 60 games. And they showed that. I mean, this team is especially amazing for me because most of the time in recent NBA history, your star player who is this top 3, top 4 player usually is scoring like crazy. His numbers are nuts, and that's why this young team has come out of nowhere. Not for this one. Wemby's scoring 19 points, 18 points, efficient, not efficient, doesn't matter. They got the role players to pick up the slack offensively in terms of scoring, and defensively, Wemby will always be the best player on the court, no questions asked. The Spurs, they look like they're outclassing the Timberwolves. It's tough. Ant isn't on. You can tell Ant is injured. I mean, he's hobbled out there. I think anyone holding him to this series of like, oh, you lost to Wemby and the Spurs, stop. Just stop. You're crazy. And shout out to you for playing, but if it's really that bad, just sit out. You guys, I don't think you're winning this series. No one's going to blame you. This might just be done in the next 3. Maybe you steal another game with a nice bench performances from who knows, Io or even Nas or whoever else. But you fought valiantly. That's a good W against your rivals, Nuggets. Sail off into the sunset, Timberwolves. Let the Spurs go into the conference finals against what will almost undoubtedly, which everyone knew, will be the Oklahoma City Thunder. This series is not close. It will never be close. No one ever thought it would be, especially without Luka. But I do need to say, the reffing in Game 2 was horrendous. But, as a Laker guy, as a LeBron Glazer, we have to be fair. They weren't winning regardless. I mean, even if you call 4 of those fouls, I mean, convert all 4 to 2 points each. Let's say you get 8 points extra, Lakers. What? You lose by 10 now? You lost by 18. The game before you lost by, I think, was it another 18? It might have been. Yeah, you would have been you lost by 18 there too. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, you guys cannot compete, and that's okay. No one expected you to. I just hope you can get a game, but this is looking like it's going to be a sweep. Maybe home crowd Lakers can, revitalize some of the role players. Role players play better at home, as everyone always says, but this is over. I mean, it was never close. I'm just glad that Bron, he's doing his thing, Luck King, GOAT status, he will always cook. You know what I'm saying? In the playoffs, he's been the best player on both teams, which is crazy because they have the reigning MVP, going to be MVP, and reigning Finals MVP in Shea. And Shea has not played the way LeBron has. Not to say that's Shea slander, but it just is what it is. LeBron's been amazing. Ultimately speaking, AR, he showed up in Game 2. Game 1, he didn't. If you reverse the games he had performances, we probably take Game 1. But ultimately, I mean, it's over. I foresee all 4 of these series. I think my predictions 2 games into all these series, I think the Pistons win in 5, maybe 6. That's the closest, I think. I think the Knicks win in 5. I think the Spurs win in 5. And honestly, this might be crazy, but I think the Thunder win in 4. And the crazy part is, like, I don't have a single 6-game series, but I don't see them being close. And I know I'll be wrong inevitably, right? There's no way there's not a single 6-game series. My bet is the Pistons, Cavs, Harden and Mitchell figure it out at home. But I don't know. I think the conference finals is going to be the interesting one. And if you went into the playoffs telling me that the Pistons and the Knicks would be in the Eastern Conference Finals and the West would have been the Thunder and the Spurs, I would have said, wow, who would have guessed? So extremely predictable. As always, basketball predictable, besides the Pacers last year, I guess. I think the conference finals will be better because so far, I'll be honest, I think the first round has been way better than the second round. And I know we're only 2 games in, but I don't foresee the second round being that amazing. I think the Thunder Spurs is going to be the matchup of the playoffs. And in my opinion, unless the Knicks really cook, I think that's going to be the real NBA finals. Spurs versus Thunder. So hopefully it's good and we'll see what happens. Subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like. Thanks. Peace.